I selected these particular exercises as I find these are the most effective for foot and ankle complaints. These are accessible to everybody and they don't need any specialist equipment. And in these next videos, I'm going to be guiding Amy, our model, through these specialist stretching and strengthening exercises. Plantar fascia stretches. You can start this stretch by standing shoulder width apart. You kneel forward onto your tiptoes. And as you go onto your tiptoes, you'll see the toes being pulled upwards, and that stretches the fascia. And you should feel some tightness under the arches of your feet and the bottom of the feet. And this is where the fascia is being stretched. You want to hold this, just like most stretches, hold them for about 30 seconds if you can. If you can carry this out a few times a day, that will be ideal. But if you can do it more frequent than this, then sure, it's going to help. One of the stretches that you could do or assign to your patients to help with plantar fasciitis and massaging the plantar fascia is by rolling your foot on a ball. Make sure the ball is relatively firm, and you can just roll the foot up and down the ball until you feel a nice deep massage in the area. You want to adjust the pressure, so you don't want to press too hard and not too soft. You can gauge this yourself. If you find the ball too hard, you can obviously swap the ball to something a little bit softer. This is really easily done if you keep a ball underneath your desk or even at home while you're sat on the sofa, and you can just regularly massage the area while you're sat working at a desk or at home. You can do this for a few minutes at a time. I'd say a minimum of 30 seconds each session, and the more frequently you can do this throughout the day, the better, but I would try to aim for at least 3 different sessions. This is a very good stretch for plantar fasciitis and could be used to help preventing this condition. If you need to stretch the extensor tendons, you can do this by placing one foot downwards with the toes underneath. As you do this, the toes will become plantar flexed and you'll feel some tightening on the top of the foot. Alternate the stretches from the left and the right foot, and holding the stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds should help. You can stretch the tibialis anterior tendon as well as some of the extensor tendons by kneeling down and having your feet point out behind you. And to increase the stretch, you just need to gradually sit down closer to your heels until you feel it pulling. If you're extremely flexible, you'll be able to sit right back down onto your heels, no problem. In some cases, you might see a little arc where the front of your ankles touch the floor, where it can't fully flatten out. With the stretch, you want to hold this down for about 20 to 30 seconds each time, and then repeat it about 2 or 3 times. If you can carry this out regularly throughout the day, it can help. Another exercise that you could do to help strengthen the tendons underneath the foot by clawing the toes downwards and then the arch, lifting the arch up. So you kind of invert the foot, putting the weight on the outside of the foot. As you claw the toes down, you'll feel the flexor tendons of the toes pulling down. But you'll also then, as the foot inverts, you'll feel the posterior tibial tendon engage. So this is a really good exercise to help strengthen the bottom of the foot and help reduce more of a flatter foot. With this type of exercise, you'll find different patients can perform different amounts of this depending on the strength that they have in the foot. Most people can do at least about 10 of these, and then you want to look to just gradually increase this over time. Another good exercise for improving balance is by standing on one leg. As you stand there, the proprioceptors will try to balance, and you'll notice all the different tendons around different parts of the foot engaging to try and maintain that balance. This is very good to alternate between different legs, and you can expect to balance for about 10 seconds on each leg before swapping over to the other leg. And once you're feeling extremely confident, you could then start to consider incorporating a single limb rise. So you gradually lift the heel off the ground and go up onto your tiptoes and then gradually come down. For this type of thing, you can hold on to a chair or a door or a wall or something if you need to help with the balance in the early stages. This is a great exercise to help with balance and also strengthen all the intrinsic muscles at the bottom of the foot. A good strengthening exercise is by going up onto tiptoes. So you can start by standing shoulder width apart, and then very gradually you go up onto your tiptoes. As your heels lift, you'll first start to engage the calf muscles. So you'll start to work the calf muscles, but then as you go up higher, you'll see the heels will start to invert. As they invert, that's your posterior tibial tendon engaging in inverting the foot. So going up onto the tiptoes is actually important to engage all of these muscles. You can also hold on to something as well for balance. This is not such a balance type of exercise. You can use something to hold yourself up for balance, and just use this as a strengthening exercise. Going up nice and slowly will ensure that you really engage the calf muscle, the posterior tibial tendon as well, and some of the flexor tendons of the toes as well. You should aim to repeat this a few times, at least 3 times if possible, but for stronger patients, they'll be able to do 10 of these very easily. This exercise is very good for people who want to strengthen their calf muscle, they want to strengthen the flexor tendons of the toes, and for posterior tibial tendon dysfunction.
If you found this video useful and want to see more like this, make sure you subscribe below and don't forget to hit the notification bell.